right, dear devotees, happily with you this morning, this evening, this afternoon, as the case may be, and already a chat in the box. Chintamani, Dandavat Pranams, with a flower, hands, flower, and a question mark. Mysterious. I know the question mark is only some machines have different of these little icons and things, and some don't. So the question mark will remain. All right. So, dear devotees, let us begin with the auspicious invocation. Today, let's chant Gurudev's Pranam Mantra, Srila Guru Maharaj's Pranam Mantra, then Om Gyan Namo Mahavaranyaya, then Vanchakalpatarubhyascha. Gurbhavista Supurakam Guru Ganai Rashisha Shambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samastveda Nipurnam Shri Rupa Pantanugam Govinda Vidham Ujvalam Varatanam Bhaktyanvitang Sundaram Bande Vishwa Gurum Chadibhya Bhagavat Premno Hi Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanam Sachandavadanam Balaka Chalantritam Sanjananda Param Sadekavarnam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Shri Siddhanta Nidim Subhaktilasitam Sarasvatanambaram Bandetang Shubhadam Madakesharanam Nyashishwaram Sridharam Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurataje Namaha Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vas Adi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Govinda Govinda. Chintamani says the question mark was supposed to be a heart and then another question mark after the heart. Just see. All what we see, we do not know. I remember as a child seeing green and blue, these colors, and thinking, do other people see these the same as me? Do they see green the way I see green? But this is, at one time we can say that's a very foolish, childish thought. But then when we grow up and we start to read the books about life and perception, then we can start thinking in another way that, yes, people do see the world in a different way. I still don't know about the blues and the greens, but I suspect everyone does see the same blue and green. But the angle of vision is the main thing for us to adjust in our life. Then the highest key to our highest goal will be within our hand. And that may be familiar to some, that expression, because it is in that audio and video, which we were discussing last time, here on Back to Basics. And a few hours ago in Brazil with our Brazilian devotees. I thought I saw Brindavaneshwari arrive, but I don't see her. Oh, yes. Okay, Brindavaneshwari, now I see you. Okay. The little boxes move on my screen a little bit here and there. So yes, Brindavaneshwari and Anu Krishna Devidasi and Leela Moy Prabhu. Perhaps you all heard, did you listen to that? Well, I won't ask you, but put you on the spot. I expect you all did listen to that audio. If not, everybody should. I mean, everybody should do everything, shouldn't they? Chant Hare Krishna 24 hours a day, offer all their prasada, and listen to this audio. which Leela Prabhu again will be merciful and put the link in the box for those who don't have it. It's all on my machine by now. And not a distraction. I just want to, if possible means why I don't, okay. Different things happen different times with digital things, don't they? Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Just 1 second. Oh, I don't know. Now I can't do something which I thought I could do. All right. And Gangali, oh, she's sending some footprints, a halo and a hand. And now that's interesting. Now I wonder if everybody sees footprints or if others see angels on their screen. All right. Anyhow, Leela Moy Prabhu put this audio here. It's just whatever we listen to, it's the best talk ever. Whatever we read, it's the best reading ever. Hare Krishna. Now, in my mind, there is something left over, but I don't remember what it is, with Rupa Nuga Prabhu. Rupa Nuga Prabhu. Was there something which we didn't address last time? You had a question, or we were talking, because you arrived right at the very end of, yeah, okay, you arrived right at the very end in the Brazil talk, yeah, so, right. So you came in at that time, and you're wearing your very alive T-shirt, happy alive T-shirt. Good. And most of you know, maybe all of you know, Srila Guru Maharaj did not like black. Sorry to say. We know it's the fashion. Just look in the airports and the train stations, and black is the fashion. But some color is good. All right, and today we have, yes, we're graced with Kumkum's presence, with Parvananfu's presence, the presence of each of you, but we're graced with Kelly Kadamba and maybe Abhinava's presence also. I don't know. But they're in Sweet Lake City, and they've been very hard to see online, but they are very generous with their one-on-one communication, but shy to be online. So maybe we'll be able to get a few words, because we all get inspiration by the touch of the official name of the ashram is anyway,
Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission.
Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission, okay, otherwise known as the Sweet Lake City Ashram. Anyway, everybody gets inspiration from that. So please stay with us, Kelly Kadamba, Devirasi. And if you have, I see there's a shadow just near you. Is that Abhinavasunda? No.
Maharaj. He's actually at the temple. Srila Janardhan Maharaj has just come from Sokel, and so the whole family went down there, but I was actually, because I keep on missing the timing, and I was like, okay, tonight I'm here.
Okay.
So he's messaged me saying he was trying to join from the temple, so maybe. Let's see.
All right, super. We'll be very happy to have a touch of that. And we do have Ramasundar Prabhu with Paramanand, so we do get some indirect touch, like a bounce off a satellite from Thailand, Salt Lake City bouncing off Thailand and coming into our Zoom. So we do have that kind of a touch here and there. Now, in the meantime, let us first ask Kumkum Devi Dasi. She's always got something for us. She's a storehouse, and she's graced by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Srila Gurudev. So we do come to you humbly asking, please, make us Krishna conscious, Kumkum Devi, in the theme of back to basics.
My dandavat to you, Maharaj, to all of the devotees here. What a blessing to have this association. And I was very touched by one particular verse that I was reading in Prapana Jivanamrita, and decided to look in a couple of other places for supporting verses. And so I found very sweet. The verse is in the Embracing the Lord's Guardianship. I forget which chapter that is, but the 8th verse, Srila Guru Maharaj introduces it, the expression of anguish in the suspense of delay in achieving the shelter of Lord Krishna by one who realizes such shelter to be the only good fortune. And I liked thinking about this so much because on one hand, it's very high if we are realizing that this shelter is our only good fortune, not just that it's the best shelter, but there is no other good fortune other than this shelter of the Lord. And then on top of that, we may be delayed in getting that shelter. And this is anguish for us. This is very hard to just wait. Our impatience is like never a good idea, but this is what we're the most impatient for if we're so lucky to have realized this shelter. And so then Guru Maharaj is introducing this verse by Sri Kulik Shekhar, where he says, "O Krishna, please allow my mind to immediately yield to your lotus flower-like feet, just as the flamingo enters into the labyrinth of the lotus flower's stems. When at the moment of my last breath, my throat becomes constricted by the action of the bodily humors, air, bile, and phlegm, how will I be able to remember you?" And then I noticed that in Golden Reflections in the 4th chapter, Srila Guru Maharaj is quoting Thakur Bhaktivinoda, who is explaining that the devotees who are willing to jump into the lake with Kaliya, and this is poisonous, but they're so much thinking of Krishna's protection. And Thakur Bhaktivinoda says, "I can easily drink the poisonous water of the Jamuna because I know that Krishna must protect me." And this way, enthusiasm first comes. And this is one of the first symptoms of devotion. And then he says, many kinds of nature come in the practitioner's life. The first life is utsaha. They become very enthusiastic and sometimes do some wrong. It's necessary to gain understanding gradually, then less difficulty will come. It is impossible for us to know everything, and no doubt some difficulty must come, but in the proper way, we shall try to know what is devotional life, and in that way, less difficulty will come to us. And then Gurudev is quoting Srila Guru Maharaj saying that he always told that we need a living representative in order to harmonize and adjust things for time and place. In other words, we always need a guardian. So I found that together these verses introduce us to, first of all, the most important thing for us to realize. And then in the mood, Guru Maharaj is explaining how this is very hard to wait for. So how do we do that? And then again, our gurus like Thakur Bhaktivinoda and Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj are laying out exactly what we need to do. We want to have this feeling of Krishna will always give me perfect shelter. And at the same time, because of our beginning on this path to make progress, we will make mistakes. We'll do something wrong. And then what do we do about that? We just keep on gradually practicing, and the difficulty will be less and less. So this is so encouraging. And then finally, he gives the precise way we can feel this encouragement, and that is to always have a guardian. So those were my thoughts.
Beautiful. And can you just repeat the original quote?
From the Prapanajivanamrita,
Yes.
in the chapter Embracing the Lord's Guardianship, it's verse 8.
Mm-hmm. But the wording?
Well, Guru Maharaj introduces it, the expression of anguish in the suspense of delay in achieving the shelter of Lord Krishna by one who realizes such shelter to be the only good fortune. And he's introducing Sri Kulashekhar, who says, "O Krishna, please allow my mind to immediately yield to your lotus flower-like feet, just as the flamingo enters into the labyrinth of the lotus flower stems. When at the moment of my last breath, my throat becomes constricted by the action of the bodily humors, air, bile, and phlegm, how will I be able to remember you?" So this is our perplexity, but we have our guardians to guide us.
And we keep on going.
Yes, yes. Even regardless of making our mistakes. He was even saying by enthusiasm, that can lead us to make mistakes. We're beginners, we're perhaps a little naive, but we always need to stay within the care of our guardians. So all is good.
It's
No
all
matter.
good because we have the goodest, the best guardians. I mean, really, we do. And we're not being, provincial because that's our family. That's where we've come to. If you're born in the family of the king, you can't deny your father's the king. Look, everybody's got that recognition, and there's his post. And who is the king of the sannyasis, the king of the representatives of Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami? This is Guru Maharaj. This is our family. And here we are, where the children or some relationship of child or grandchild, or I get lost with cousins and nephews and stuff like that, but we're all within that family. The royal family, there you are, the king's family. You're a member of the royal family. Maybe you're a duchess or a duke or better not say too many words because I don't know very much. I don't follow the royal family, very sorry. But the royal family in the proper sense, they are meant to be the representative of all of the devas, because they are administering a country as the devas administer the universe. So in a proper hierarchy, where it's not by name, but it is by qualification and quality, then this way. So anyhow, that's a side point, but the main point being that in that analogy, it's true. We've got our birth within the royal family of Guru Maharaj, of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, of Rupa Goswami. So we have the best guardians, so the best way for us to continue is under their shelter. And there is so much shelter. Yes. And not only shelter, but affectionate guidance and affectionate guidance. Yes. By the way, in the chat box, because it is relevant to some, for instance, Chintamani, who's in Navadip and must be thinking about breakfast. But in the calendar, which is, very intensely done by Shripad Dandi Maharaj, with the help of others who are like expert, as it were, in astrology or astronomy or both. Anyhow, the calendar is that in Navadip, Ekadashi is on Monday, and here in Milan, well, near Milan where I'm speaking from, it's on Sunday. And in the chat box, I did put that link. And hopefully the devotees do know that it's just the Ekadashi days, and the Paran means the breakfast times, which vary around the world, which Gurudev wanted us to follow. So do check your local calendar. And by the way, we did have an anomaly just yesterday, and we did actually wake up Dandi Maharaj in the middle of the night in Mayapur. Sorry, Dandi Maharaj. And we did wake him up. I mean, really, we woke him up because there was some discrepancy between the iCal calendar that pops up automatically and the HTML, the web page calendar. And so we woke him and said, Maharaj, only you can solve this. Only to find that there was no discrepancy, actually, but the iCal calendar that our devotee friends were using here, they downloaded at some time ago when it was first available, and there were some corrections made in the calendar. So what is actually on the web is correct. So the point, a valid point may be that if you are using an iCal version, in the one that pops up on your calendar on the iPhone or the Android, then please do update it, get the latest version of the iCal calendar. And of course, probably good to see the latest version of the web page in case you saved it in the past. Some correction came. So just a point, because I do see there's a question here from Priyanana. No, not from Priyanana, from Chintamani, did he? Was it? Chintamani, yes. And I have a question for Chintamani. Those fields in the background, is this a recent picture? And are those the rice fields that are very green?
Dandavat Maharaj. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. This is a picture I took a selfie in the Jalangi River. It was so quiet and beautiful, and the Jalangi River is just covered with these epic plants, which there has been a crocodile sighting actually recently in the Jalangi, and I was hoping I could see a crocodile, but I did not see one. I was hoping for it.
Why were you hoping to see a crocodile?
Just being a wildlife enthusiast, and Ganga Devi, she rides on a crocodile. Like, where's the crocodile? I can pay my dandavats to the carrier of Ganga Devi.
Okay, sometimes it's good to pay dandavats from a little distance. You do know that, don't you? Oh, you got your microphone off.
Oh yeah, dandavats. Yeah, from a distance for sure. But yeah. Thank you, Maharaj, for all the mercy. We're having a program today at Lakshmi Priya and Leela Sundar's home with Dandi Maharaj, who just arrived back to Mayapur. I spotted him yesterday at ISKCON. We were both walking around ISKCON, and it was nice to see him, run into him.
Okay, and please do apologize to him for me waking him up in the middle of the night. But he was very gracious, always very gentle in his nature, and I think he may have forgiven us. Hare Krishna. All right. Dear devotees, now, so Kelly, don't go away. Maybe this is a question for you, because it's from Rupanuga Prabhu, your compatriot, means from Australia too, but he's also elsewhere, and that is he's in Thailand, and you're from Australia, you're in Salt Lake City. So Rupanuga in the chat box says, yes, I do have a question. 5 actually, woven into one big one. Okay, let's see. Krishna consciousness is eternal. 1, but is Krishna spirit internal? Is Krishna spirit internal within our own soul and therefore not external? Okay, there's some meditation. 2, what is the connection between the sun, without which we would not be here, our earth, without which we would not be here, our body, without which we would not be here, our brain, without which we would not be here, our mind, without which we would not be here, our soul, without which we would not be here, our spirit, without which we would not be here, and the source, Krishna, without Krishna we would not be here. So my real question is, number 3, does Krishna consciousness exist in our minds? Because all must be connected as described above. For example, when we chant the holy name, follow the holy scriptures, give obeisances, etc. Is it for opening up a spirit consciousness within each mind and soul? That is, 5, does Krishna consciousness exist within us, not outside of ourselves, not in a heaven up there somewhere, as in most other religions? You know what comes to mind immediately, Rupanuga Prabhu? I mean, Kelly will give us a longer answer in a moment, but here we have some, well, we thought new persons with us, and find out actually they've been following things nicely for 5 years, so they're not as new as we thought. But anyhow, we are reading Home Comfort. Now, I know you've all read it before. Oh, that's a small book. I read that book. Yeah, I have actually read it many, many, many times before. But we've been reading this in the evening class. It's not a class, the evening reading. Because it's like straightforward. And you know what comes to mind is that if you read Home Comfort, we're reading the 2nd chapter right now, and now I'll need to find it to see exactly what it was. But I think that if you read that chapter, you'll start to see that, okay, this is how it all works. And it's actually independent of our mundane body and mundane subtle body. And our brain, without our mundane identification, and without our body, the gross part which we can see, the water and the meat and all these things, without all this, we still have consciousness and experience. Hence, a dead person, somebody who leaves their body and is brought back into their body by some way or another, they so often can say, oh, I had such an experience, but the doctor will say, but your heart was 0, you were dead. So without their mental system, without everything else they experienced. Anyhow, I'll put that as a beginning, that the Home Comfort can be our real friend. And it's a small book, but it's got a lot inside. And then that thought just now that I mentioned, and now Kelly can help us. She's had a few minutes to meditate on your question. Kelly, some thought from you to enlighten us.
Okay. Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat to everybody. Well, there's definitely way more qualified devotees here present that can give a much better answer than me. So I'm not really feeling very comfortable about it. But anyways, we'll try share something. I guess the first thing I would say is I'm just trying to go back and keep track of the gist of all the questions. But I mean, the first thing is, because it seems like Rupanuga, you're asking, like, where does the Lord exist, and is that, what kind of connection do we have? Is it in our minds? Where is that plane? How are we connecting with it? And the thing is, in the words Krishna consciousness, everything, Guru Maharaj says, everything is existing in consciousness. So Krishna consciousness, it's to be fully and absolutely conscious of Krishna, and to understand that there's nothing outside of Krishna. Like Guru Maharaj says, everywhere center, nowhere circumference. So means whether it be when I look outside into nature, our family situation, my meditation, like you're saying, the earth, the sun, our body, everything is the Lord. It's all his expansion. It's all his play. We're existing for him. And so let me just check. So it is something that's internal. And actually the new book, Devotional treasure test. I was just reading it today, and Gurmaj says this beautiful expression. He's talking about, he's speaking from the perspective of the Lord, and I don't know if I can find it, but he's saying, I think it's in the 2nd chapter on living faith, and he says, my boy, what are you doing? Like, why are you looking to outside for all these things? You're is essentially saying, you've cast your attention outside into all these external things, but I'm here, I'm inside you. Like, just turn your attention within and you'll find me very near to you, and I'm always with you. So I really found that to be just so beautiful. And we're told so many times, like in that song in the morning, Jeev Jago, like, I am your friend. Like, there's no other, what other friend do you have like me? Anyways, I'm going off the point a little bit. Essentially, there's nothing that is not the Lord, and it's actually only our maladjusted perception that starts to see some separation, and therefore we come out from, well, not come out, but then we move away from Krishna consciousness, from seeing everything from this perspective that it's all him and everything is in relation to him, including ourselves. So I don't know if that's helping. And then open up a spirit consciousness. When we chant the holy name, follow the holy scriptures, give obeisances, is it opening up? Yes, where like Gurudev is always saying we want to, I mean, actually Gurudev says something really beautiful. He says, we've come here to give something that's already in your heart. It's not to actually plant something that's not there. We're actually trying to clean our hearts. We're trying to remove the veil of illusion so that we can actually, that perception can awaken in our hearts. It can descend from above, and we can actually see reality by divine grace as it is. So by offering our obeisances, reading the scriptures, all these practices, that is actually adjusting our consciousness so that we are trying to see things with the Lord in the center rather than ourselves in the center. Anyway, it's a big topic. I don't know. Do you want to, Maharaj, add anything? I don't know if I'm going way off the subject here.
Not way off the subject. And as you said, the beginning of the day starts with Jeev Jago, wake up, sleeping souls, wake up, sleeping souls. But I mean, I do have a gentle question for Rupanuga Prabhu, that what is the difference between spirit and soul in your feeling? Because who am I? This is Sanatana Goswami's question. Who am I? So
I feel, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I feel the spirit is our connection, a real connection to Krishna, to the Godhead, whereas our soul is, in a way, our connection to ourselves and our spirit. That's what I feel, but I may be wrong with this.
When we will see, the promise is there that when we will actually see who I am, then we will be astounded.
Mm-hmm.
So our conception of ourselves at the moment is within, very much our animal consciousness. Means that animals have a conception of themselves, and they have their subtle body and their gross body, as we covered many times before. But the long question of your number two, like, if not this, we would not be here. If not that, we would not be here. And it all comes down to the root. Krishna is there with everything, and he's made an organic whole. And yes, if many things in the motor car, if any one item is not there, it won't work. It all works as an organic whole. It's a bit of a crude example. But if you don't have a gearbox, you're not going to go anywhere. If you don't have the steering wheel, you won't go anywhere. If you don't have a carburetor, you won't go anywhere. So the organic whole, it is arranged by Krishna. And so also the part where you said about what's the relationship between the sun and us, perhaps you asked somewhere in there. Then Krishna himself explains that we are like a sun ray coming from the sun. So this way we have our connection, but as a ray of the sun, we have some qualities of the sun, but the sun is the sun, and we are a tiny ray, some analogy like that to help us understand. So any part of us is not, so many parts of us which are not here, or parts of our environment. If there's no oxygen, then we won't be here. I mean, there's lots of things we can say. And if there's no Mahaprabhu, if Mahaprabhu had not come, we would not be here talking about things like Krishna consciousness, which we say very easily. And still I have some pain in my ear from hearing some things that people have said about Radha and Krishna. And this is like the Indian people, like the Hindu people, they've heard now, regularly, that Radha Krishna, which was not heard before. But some of the things that we hear them say, they're very, very unhappy. But we've heard about these names, these topics, from the pure source, where we will not get misunderstandings. So this point that also Kumkum was saying, how we will go on under good guardianship, then we really must go on under the good guardianship of only hearing from Gurudev, Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. And that means where they have given us our direction and our source, which means Bhaktivinoda, of course, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Saraswati Thakur, etc. But we've got our standard, and that standard is very helpful, is not only helpful, very safe for us to stay within that. And just yesterday itself, we were talking, and then one of the devotees was saying about some incident, about not an incident, something that's meant to be from the scripture or somewhere. And it was a funny story, but I said, I've never heard this anyway. Then they said who they'd heard it from. And then that devotee, we know, reads all kinds of books, which, in one sense, if you can digest the things, is not bad. But then when he said the name of the devotee, I said, well, okay, I never heard it from Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. And I know that devotee does relish reading some of these books about, the Hindu and Hinduism and this, that, and the other. And I just thought, it sounds to me like one of those stories that goes around. So anyway, we shall try to be careful where we hear things from and where we're getting our nourishment from. And that's why being careful means, is it coming from Gurudev? Is it coming from Guru Maharaj? Is it coming from Srila Prabhupada? Is it coming from Srila Saraswati Thakur and our clearly defined, really, current, descending current? And if the answer is yes, then we can say, wow. If the answer is questionable, then we'll have a little question, wow, like in the chat box, we get the little question mark. We'll have oh, okay, wow, question, maybe a wow. But lots of things are inspiration. Anyway, yes, so Krishna gives us the organic whole, nothing separate from Krishna. And Krishna consciousness exists. Okay, Srila Guru Maharaj told, and this is definitely from Srila Guru Maharaj, this, and Srila Guru Maharaj said, when everything is removed, we know we are removing cover after cover of this, that, and the other that's covering our real selves. When everything is removed, what remains? What remains is a devotee. There's nothing else is left. Ah, devotee. When every misconception, every covering, this, that, and the other is gone. So the most fundamental element is devotion in this consciousness world. And when we chant, for example, when we chant the Holy Name, BBBC, opening up the spiritual consciousness. So when we see that the last thing that remains is, oh, we'll find we're a devotee, then we should try to remove all these coverings. So keep on chanting Hare Krishna. Not in heaven up there somewhere. Hare Krishna. Okay. Oh yes, and Sevarupa has given us a little link to this, to the Home Comfort. 6th Indian edition. And all the editions are quite similar. Mainly, I think it's the layout and the spelling. Some is spelt in American, some is spelt in English. But we won't get caught up on any spelling or any other thing to. Kom Dasi, the new book, like Devotion Church, yes, available as PDF. Yes, available for ordering, and I think close to you, Kom Dasi, is Kelly Kadamba. She's just in fact, on my screen, she's 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters beside you. On my screen, you're right side by side. So close to you in the USA, I think Kelly may be susceptible to bribery, I think. And you may be able to get a book from her. Not susceptible to bribery, but they do have the books there. Oh, for ordering, Abhinava. Oh, no, it's Abhinava and Kelly's. I see Kelly's replied. For ordering on Gaudiya Darshan. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. So I know also. They're there on Gaudiya Darshan for ordering. Okay, so Paramananda Prabhu, you are definitely not forgotten. And while I was giving some explanation just now, I was thinking, what will Paramananda be saying? He's going to come with some beautiful shlokas. He's going to come and make everything clear from us in the line of Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada. Paramananda Prabhu.
Wow, Maharaj.
Wow.
What should I say?
That's what we are waiting to hear. Where, a simple summary of the question is, where is Krishna consciousness?
Where is Krishna consciousness? What's the answer? Oh, Krishna Priya is saying, inside of you. I can hear her saying it from the kitchen.
Okay.
And it's a good answer, I have to say. In fact, when we were distributing books, we traveled a lot, far away from the temple. So we stayed sometime a few months out of the temple, living in the cars, buses, hotels, wherever. And we followed the temple program every day, exactly same as the temple. But we had no deities with us. Instead, we would put books on the altar. And we would worship books, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. So for us, they were none different from the deities. And we had this habit, and the habit of taking a book in your hands and asking the book to reveal something to you. And then you open the book randomly. And it never failed us. There was always something very timely, something you really had in mind, or something according to the situation, or we didn't know it will happen. and later in the day it wouldn't happen, then you remember, oh, we read it from the book in the morning. So sometime till this day, I'm following the same style. So this morning I opened, it happened to be on the table. So I opened Sri Upadishamritam randomly, and I'm not lying. I have a witness here, Ramsundar Prabhu. He's a brahmachari. He cannot lie. It's one of the qualities of brahmacharis. They cannot lie. So he saw me doing it. And of course, everything is wonderful in the book. But I was wondering, where is this one leading? Because it was before the meeting. And then I heard Rupanuga's question. And here is the very good answer to that. And the answer is not by me, which I'm very happy about. The answer is by Srila Guru Maharaj. So if I have permission of Maharaj in audience, I can read a few lines from that.
With such an introduction, we are very hungry.
All right. Then here we go. I mean, really, this is what I read. It's not me trying to find some answer for Rupanuga Prabhu's question, but I received this and I'm just sharing it. Knowledge and inquiry are the negative side of faith. We don't like this sense of necessity to verify faith. We want to be born and die in the land of faith, where no gentleman ever deceives anyone. We don't want to live on the plane of skepticism, doubt, inquiry, and satisfaction based only on this. This is all calculation. Faith is the normal tendency. And in such normal tendency, there is no deceit. We want to live on that land where even in dreams, deception is impossible. Where deception and thus inquiry, knowledge, verification, and all such things are absent. We want to live on that plane where everything is automatic, or maybe natural, can be used. This is Jnana Shunya Bhakti. Shraddharatir Bhaktir Anukramishiti. And again, I repeat, I received this verse from Srila Madhusudana Maharaj in a dream. Satat prasangam mama virya samvido bhavanti hrit karnara sayana katha tajjosanata swapavar gavartmani shraddharatir bhaktir anukramishiti. Kapila Muni to Devahuti. Srimad Bhagavatam, who those who want to record, 3:25-25. The Guru Maharaj quotes the last line of that shloka. The real root of existence lives in that quarter. The Absolute does not allow himself to become a victim of anyone's doubt, inquiry, and skepticism. He does not like that he will have to hold himself up against you and your skepticism as to whatever he is or whatever he is not, or whatever you will be, or whether you will be deceived or not. All such concepts are poverty of heart. In the gradation of development from Jnana Shunya Bhakti, we come to Prema Bhakti. Kritva Harim Prema Bhajan. And I will finish with this beautiful line by Srila Guru Maharaj. The extraordinary power of Prema Bhakti is that she can convert the autocrat, the Supreme Lord, into the loving friend of anyone who takes to the path. And I think it's a good answer, Maharaj.
Perfect est.
And if we are familiar with the scriptures, there are so many statements in the scriptures where Krishna is saying, I am everything. Like we're just quoting Sri Upanishad. Sri Upanishad, and I'm pretty sure Kum Didi knows that because it's one of the first books published by Srila Prabhupada. So many ISKCON devotees remember that book very well, all the verses and the meanings of the verses. But the introduction is Om Purnamadaha Purnamadam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadayam Purnam Eva Vashishyate. And the first verse, Ishavasyamadam Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagatyam Jagat Janatyaktena Buddhita. And I forgot the last line, but I have a brahmachari here who is very brainy. Magrit Hasas Kasis Vidhanam So there, Krishna is saying, let's read Prabhupada translation. It's a very good translation. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself and which are set aside for his quota. And one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. And then we can go on with Bhagavad Gita. Aham sarvasya prabhava matak sarvam pravartate. We can go with Brahma Samhita, so many verses, but one of the major verses, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Viraha. So Krishna Priya is saying, Krishna is within us, Krishna consciousness is within us, and Guru Maharaj confirms that. It's our innate necessity. And Mahaprabhu answers, and Maharaj quoted Sanatana Goswami, Ke Ami, who am I? And Mahaprabhu answers, very simple, very sweet, and infinitely deep, resulting in the biggest instruction given to recorded for our sake by the devotees, by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And he is saying, Jivira Sarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. You are the eternal loving servitor of Krishna. And Guru Maharaj just said, what is the power of devotion? What is the power of bhakti? That it can convert autocrat, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, into a loving servant. I mean, this is all insanely high, unreachable. This is certainly not our goal. But why is Guru Maharaj saying that? Because it's a fact. This is what's going to happen. And as such, Krishna consciousness is very beautiful. So if we just follow that verse where Kapila Muni is saying, Devahuti, you're asking me, what should you do? What should be your path? And his answer is also very simple. You mix with those who relishing those nectarian topics, who cannot live a second without talking and thinking of Krishna, serving him. You mix with those people, it'll all be fine. And as a result of that, what will come to you is Krishna Prema. Shraddharatir Bhaktir Anukramishiti. That's what you're going to receive. Love of Godhead. Super simple. I guess that's all I have to say. And Kumkum Didi, thank you for quoting. This is really one of my favorite verses, but Kumkum Didi was quoting the Maharaja Kula Shekhar verse, which is also amazing. It's one of those verses we really have to remember. It's in Prapanna Jivanamritam. It's quoted by Guru Maharaj, it's quoted by Srila Govinda Maharaj, and our whole Rupanuga Guru Varga, and give us so much hope. And it's a call for action. Do it now before it's too late.
Jai. And beside you, your truthful brahmachari, Ramasundara Prabhu. Please, a few words from you, humbly asking. You can say as you wish, humbly or not. I'm humbly asking a few words from you. And come close to the microphone, please.
Well, something short. I was thinking that there's a pastime when Mahaprabhu is returning from Gaya, and now he's starting to show symptoms of devotion, that he's with Gadadhar Pandit and is asking, where is Krishna? Like, where is Krishna? And then Gadadhar Pandit says, Krishna's in your heart. And then Mahaprabhu starts like trying to tear his chest open, basically. And then Gadadhar Pandit's not exactly like that. And then Sachi Devi was observing these things, and she's like, this Gadadhar Pandit is a very intelligent boy, and if he can stay with Mahaprabhu throughout his life, then it will be very good. But that's what came to mind when talking about Christian consciousness is inside you, but not in the sense that, you know, you'll open your chest up and then you'll see Krishna there, but it's an internal conscious plane that where you know, through surrender and devotion, these things that can be revealed, like Maharaj was saying, that you're slowly uncovering these layers, and then who you really are will astonish you and come out. So
But I can give away a secret to Rupanuga Prabhu.
And to us also?
I thought maybe I shouldn't, but I decided, all right, never mind, since it's all, it's all published right now. It's Krishna himself saying that you will not find me here, you will not find me there. You will not find me in the heart of the yogis or in the jnanis' hearts. I am not to be found there. The only one place where I am is the heart of my devotee. That's where you can find me in full beauty, full power, love, affection, everything is there in the heart of the devotees. So that advice by Kapila Muni in that particular light is actually a perfect answer. There is no need to say anything else. Stick to those who relish in that, who relish in Krishna's service, relishing topics about him, relishing chanting his holy names. And then you will find Krishna there and everything will be revealed to you.
And there is another reference which you can give, which is that reference of where am I? I'm where the devotees are discussing my qualities. Paramananda.
That's all right. That's
Please,
another one.
so please give us a shloka.
Maharaj, I forgot this one.
Ramchandra Prabhu.
It's on the tip of my tongue, but see?
All these secrets are coming out, Rupanuga, by your sincere questions. We're very happy, by the way, that you asked.
Anyhow, you can share. Or someone can access. Devarupa, can you find that verse? I think I can remember if I hear first line.
Guide me again. Sorry, Dandavats, the...
Where the devotees are chanting, maybe.
Okay. Okay.
Something like this, if you look in the Krishna search. Something like that. Where am I to be found? I'm to be found where the devotees are chanting my glories or discussing about me.
Discussing, yes. Chanting, discussing. Hare Krishna.
And by the way, Kelly and Abby didn't turn up. Just see, well, he's got a good reason. He's in the midst of the arrival party welcoming Maharaj and the group, Srila Janardhan Maharaj and the group to Salt Lake City. But Kat is here. Kat is with us on Facebook. So Kat, so I know you see the recorded versions, but today, I think by the presence of Abby and Kelly, they've drawn you into the live version. So Kat, we're very happy to have you with us in Australia. She's a sincere lady and offers everything to Krishna, and she's in the queue to come home, in the procession, as we are reading, as we are hearing in the talk of Srila Guru Maharaj that we began with today, mentioning, where she's also in that procession to come home to Vrindavan. Hare Krishna. And to Madhava Prabhu and to Sophia and to the others who I can't see because I know you're there on Facebook too. Then we are giving our appreciation, our obeisances and appreciation, our welcome. Yes.
Maharaj, we found the verse, but it's actually the same verse I quoted, but different interpretation of it.
Okay.
I don't say Vaikuntha Loka or within the heart of the yogis. Tatra tishtami narada yatra gayanti madhvata. I stay there where my devotees are chanting about me, my glories. This is the process. It's from Prabhupada's purport.
Jai. Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda. And by the way, Kat is sending a heart. Krishna, Krishna. A purple heart, by the way. All right, dear devotees. Happily in your association. And I was very happy to see from Muktinath photographs of Pavan Prabhu and Kamala Devi reading, each of them reading the devotional treasure chest. And I have to say, Pavan looked completely absorbed in the book. He like had the book, and it was just a picture of absorption in reading the content. And okay, never mind, and lots of things. But I was going to say, some of the content is familiar, and some of the content will probably not be familiar. It means everything is familiar, that it's our Krishna conscious side, but it is brought, that book, Devotional Treasure Chest, is brought together from previous articles from a long time ago, basically in magazines. So some of the things you're familiar with, but it is fresh, ever fresh, and especially to preserve articles and transcriptions which have been published and carefully gone through from many years ago, literally 40 years ago, some of them. So the magazines are long lost. And the other book, In the Light, that is original transcriptions and original bringing it all together in an organized way by Shripad Tridandi Maharaj, who's very capable to do such things, and who brought together, by the way, Home Comfort, which we were mentioning earlier on. And please don't neglect Home Comfort. It is a small book, but it's very full. As we know, we are reading it right now in the evening here for the last 2 days only, but with the visiting devotees, and we've been reading it, and always new things are popping out and coming to us, such wonderful examples. Hare Krishna. And by the way, another book I've actually been listening to rather than reading, but it's that book, Life Comes from Life by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada gives so many wonderful examples. Guru Maharaj giving original examples. Srila Prabhupada giving original examples. Srila Gurudev giving original examples for our current time, place, and circumstance, and very, very inspiring and keeping us going. As Paramananda said, if we associate with those who are hungry in Krishna consciousness, who relish these topics, that's Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev. Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, whatever order you're going to say, that's each of them. And we can get some hunger, some taste, by some desire to taste these things by their grace. And they are trying so much for us with so many examples. And they're doing it to give us life. They're not doing for any other purpose, in the sense of that's their service to Guru and Gauranga. And so we must try to do the same. Encourage others, introduce others, and share the great gift that Mahaprabhu's given. So everyone do your best. Keep on going. We're all going on in this world, and we just need to keep going in the right direction with each other on the path, in the procession back to Vrindavan. And maybe if you have it handy, because the chat box does disappear. I mean, if somebody joins later, they don't, in my machine anyway, we don't see the previous chats. Leelamoy Prabhu, just as a final gift to the devotees, could you put that same link for the audio of Srila Guru Maharaj that we've been referring to last time and this time? There are many things in this one audio. It's the best audio ever. Home Comfort is the best book ever, etc., etc., etc. And this is the best back to basics ever too, by the grace of the devotees.
Maharaj, last question before you go. What are we to carry in that procession? Are we going empty-handed, or are we carrying anything?
We're going to carry the shoes of those who are in front of us.
We're going to go barefoot.
Well, We hope they have 2 pairs of shoes. We carry, okay, then we'll carry the dust that's raised by the feet of those who've gone before us and put that dust, to carry that on our heads.
Perfect.
Rai Kishori. Oh my goodness. Now, if we had 2 hours left, we'd ask Rai Kishori just to say a moment's worth of Krishna consciousness.
I just got such a bad reputation, and you're seeing me with my glasses on right now. This is like uncensored.
I thought so. All right.
Oh, so I am. We're seeing you with your glasses on, Jesse.
Oh, thank you, Marge. And Kumkum has her glasses on, and Dee Dee in the corner has. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, very
What's
good.
wrong with glasses?
No, they're awesome. I love them, Maharaj. I love those glasses.
No, I mean, what's wrong with wearing glasses?
I don't know. I just only wear them when I'm driving at night for the safety of devotees.
Oh, yeah, okay. I also wear glasses when I drive also, so I can read the road signs. I think it's a good idea.
Useful in the process.
Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, whatever will help us see Krishna and his devotees better, that's good for us. And you've got another devotee behind you. We've been in separation from Abhinava Sundar Prabhu. So we've been remembering you in your absence, and we've been expecting you to pop up. And so here you are. We are now satisfied. With this, we're just about to close our meeting. Oh, dear. And looking forward to you being in our next meeting. You'll still be there in Salt Lake City, Abby, right?
Yes, Marge.
Okay, you're going to be there for a while. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe
Very
even
good.
longer.
For a while or even longer.
All sorts of things,
Okay.
Marge. I have no idea.
You know what? Abhinava and Kaylee are just so loved all over the world. They just get invitations from the whole world. They're just that sweet.
You know, I could just flip.
Some other residents of Salt Lake City are in a similar category, aren't they? Rai and Sudarshan Prabhu.
Yeah.
Okay,
They keep themselves so busy, though.
Hare Krishna. Actually,
right.
tonight at the temple, Janardha Maharaj was there. He's very happy. All devotees were it was quite a sweet evening at the temple, prepping for Sunday program Ekadasi. So.
Okay, I'm sure it was. We could almost hear the kirtan from here. We did have some idea it was a grand festival taking place. So welcome, big welcome.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll have some special billing for all of you for next back to basics. Please don't let us down, make us sad.
Ooh, you have to be on next one.
Salt Lake City special special billing for next back to basics. All right, dear ones, as Munindra Mohan Prabhu would say, dear ones, all right, first of all, our jais to our gurus and then our obeisances. Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rockpop Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Bhagavan, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. Jai Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga ki jai. Jai Shri Nitai Chaitanya Dev ki jai. Jai Saparika Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhava Govinda Sundar Navadip deities of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev ki jai. And Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mata of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev ki jai. And Jai Shri Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. All the Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda ki jai. And all the unlimited devotees Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Srila Bhaktiranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna. And to all of you and to our Brazilian devotees, so late at night, and you are with us, we appreciate very much. And you're looking very fresh and alive, and at midnight, gone midnight, amazing. And to all of you, at every time of the day, it's always some time somewhere. Now, this reminds us of Krishna Lila. Okay, to each of you in all your places, wishing you a successful Seva week in Krishna consciousness, and we'll meet you very soon. Hare Krishna. Ami Ashchi.